Hey everyone, I got two superstars here. I'm going to introduce. One is Jefferson, and the other one is Kenji. Jefferson is, I guess, multi-talented because he's a movie producer, game producer, real estate investor. I don't know what else. There's a lot of things. Kenji is, I guess, super talented in game production, game technology. I'm actually getting new to him, so he'll actually I'll get to know him now right now. So anyway, I'll go with you, Jefferson. Introduce yourself and what's your background and what are you doing right now, and then Kenji right after him, if you can go after him and share the same thing.
Oh man, well, thank you, Raju. I appreciate it, you setting this up and taking the time. So I'm Jefferson Keith Langley. I am basically an entrepreneur. I mean, I would call it that at the core level. I'm in the film business. I've been making movies and all that kind of stuff, brand campaigns, music videos. I did the whole journey. Um, I branched out into tech and I flipped houses in LA. So you talked about the real estate, but yeah, I mean, I'm basically an entrepreneur.
Cool, Kenji.
Hi, I'm Mark Kenji Gonzales, but I go by Kenji usually professionally. Um, my background has mostly been in the gaming industry. I worked as a concept artist. Strangely enough, my background in school was feature animation, but I never went into that. But yeah, primarily the game industry, and worked in San Francisco for years, and now working with Jefferson on some exciting new projects.
Okay, you put it
Yeah.
lightly. I heard even more things about you. You're like downplaying your stuff. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Both of you are downplaying. All right,
Yeah.
fine. So next question, obviously for you guys is Jefferson. You go first. Like you have a project. I know about the project, but I'll let you explain how you got to that project. It's an incredible journey. I don't know if you want to explain all that, how you got to that theme, because it was
Yeah.
pretty fascinating to me. And
Yeah.
then
Thank
Kenji,
you.
same thing, how you got involved with Jefferson. Obviously, you guys are friend and what you're doing with the project. And,
Yeah.
who can you guys help or who you would love to connect and maybe they can help you, whatever the
Yeah.
case is.
Oh man. So I'm working on a few different. We're working on a few different projects. One of the main ones that we're cooking up right now is a thing called the War Scrolls. I've always had a fascination with kind of ancient times and scrolls and the Dead Sea Scrolls and all that kind of stuff. I think I secretly want to be like Jacques Cousteau, but going on adventures and 20,000 leagues under the sea, those kind of stories. And I approached Kenji. Kenji and I own a company together called Hallow Road,
Mm.
Hallow Road, which is kind of like the sovereign path, which is what it means. And we came together to work on this. One of them, the War Scrolls, about sort of the story before mankind. How did heaven come to be, and what was this whole battle of heaven? And we call it Empyrean, which is sort of like Valhalla, this other realm. And you mentioned the story on how it came to be. I was making movies and I was doing very well. I had a boutique film fund / production company. We raised money and stuff, and I had sort of lost everything. I lost my houses on Mulholland. I mean, just I don't want to go into it. It's like woe is me. But it set me on this journey. I ended up living with monks and all this stuff. And one night I was down on my luck and in this time frame, and I was staying in a house that was kind of a halfway house, but it was a guy who owned it and he was selling it, and there was no running water, no electricity. And so I was at a pretty low point in my life and never, really anticipated ever being in this position. But there I was, and I, kind of have 7 days to, find a place to go and all this stuff. And, I was laying on the floor, there was no furniture, no nothing, sleeping on the hardwood floor. And I sat there, it was like 2 a.m. and going, this can't be my life. This has got to be something more. If there's something more, please, God, please, whatever it is, show me. Show me, how do I get out of this, and where do I go from this, and why am I here? And that night I dreamt out this story about this guy who was in this murder mystery and kind of trying to figure out what his purpose is. And he investigates this murder that went unsolved, and he realizes that there's a bigger purpose to his life, and he's connected to the battle of heaven. And I woke up and I went, oh my gosh, what if we're here for a bigger reason? And how do we find out what that reason is? And then what do you do when you find out what that is? And what if the reason is that, And so I called a buddy of mine and like, dude, I got to borrow a computer. I got to write the story. And so I wrote the whole thing in 7 days. And, by the time I had kind of gotten out of that place, I had a place to go. And I gave the guy his computer back. I had it on a zip drive, and it's like, someday I'm going to bring this out. And over the last year, I've kind of started moving the movie of it. The War Scrolls, the first movie. So it's this big IP world about this battle of heaven, and like if there was a CIA in heaven, and there's these good operatives, aka angels, whatever you want to call them, and they can come in and they're here to catch the devil. And I pitched it to Kenji and said, hey man, I got this movie. We're working on other game things, other apps. What do you think about this story? And he read it and he goes, oh man, count me in. And I said, what comes up in your brain when you read this and then he started punching out these beautiful illustrations of, this world. And, like, oh my God, that's it. And so we've just been going down the road. We're building a game component. There's graphic novel component to it. There's the film series. So it's like this encompassed immersive world called the War Scrolls.
Awesome. And then you're obviously looking for people who can collaborate with you on that. And
right. So we have another correct. We have another partner that's a part of this Hello Road. And he comes from a AAA game company, one of the largest, if not the largest game company in the world. So I could name off all the games that he's part of, and these are big titles, and he's a lead engineer on these. So we sort of have the game engineer, the concept artist, and the big visual storyteller in the group. We're raising money. We're onboarding other key components that visual effects and that kind of stuff that we're in talks with. Obviously, they each have their own path. The movies have to go a certain direction. The games are done in a certain direction. So they all need their own operatives, but we're kind of moving.
Gotcha. Cool. Awesome. I'll post, Jefferson's info and all the and Kenji's info, I guess. But Kenji, your story. I guess, you got into the project. Obviously, Jefferson kind of explained what you already did. So yeah, get into more details and what got you interested and what are you looking for?
Originally, Jefferson had approached me just as, one-time thing as a contractor for a project he was working on. And we quickly found out we had a pretty great working relationship. Like every time we would do brainstorming, things just like fly out, and it was just like nonstop. This would come out, oh, let's go explore this path. Let's explore this path. It's just like, you have something good when your brainstorm sessions can go like over an hour and you're not even tired yet, because it's just like, there's just so much you come up with that you didn't even think of at the time, right? And so I quickly realized at that point, it's like Jefferson and I actually are along kind of on that same wavelength in a way for just coming up with these ideas. And so he had approached me about War Scroll a while later, and I read it, and then I called him. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I just rattled on for like probably a good 10, 15 minutes about this was great, this was great, this was great. And for me, for me, it's very difficult to get excited about anything in general. There are some things that just hit you right there in the spot, and that was one of the few things. And so I was like, okay, Luke, like he said, like what can I do to be a part of this? And then I was just punching things out, and yeah, that's sort of how we got into this project right now.
So anything, who should you connect to, or anything that can help you? Who are the type of people in the sense like you would like to connect to?
We're, Kenji, definitely help out we're talking to VCs, we're talking to financiers. because of our track record and kind of what we bring to the table and sort of where we can reach to, but for us, it's always about like minds, the right people, I think the connection is more important than it is like, what can you do or what can I do, or people first, profits next, kind of our mindset. Because I think when you do it in the opposite direction, you end up kind of vague and crosshairs and stuff. And that's what I love about Kenji and Zach and everybody who is working on this. And I just feel so blessed that they're such good people, and I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, these people are so generous and genuine and so skilled, and like I'm always admiring them and inspired by them of how brilliant their mind is and how much it helps me lean on that so that I can be crazy and off and kind of, and Kenji kind of grounds it and keeps it, reminiscent of what was always the goal and always the goal, and that, that's not hard. I mean, it's not easy to do. It's hard to find, it's hard to find when the people are so cool and sincere and dope, and then they have such flavor, it's just, it's pretty impressive. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It makes me better for sure. They all make me better.
One thing I would like to add is just the fact that the three of us definitely were able to act as one unit because we have the same values, we have the same point of view on a lot of things. And so in a way, it just helps things flow so much easier because we all have the same vision of where we want to be at the end game and beyond.
Yeah.
Cool. So, well, I guess, I'll let the people decide. I guess, whoever connects to whatever Kenji and Jefferson are talking about, please connect to them. And you guys can collaborate. I'll post all the links. Like, I pretty much know all the links that I need to post. And I did see the preview of War Scrolls. It's awesome, by the way. It looks really awesome. So I would really encourage to take a look. And if it really rings a bell for you, go reach out to Jefferson, see what happened, or Kenji, or whoever. I'll post all the links. Now, for my fun stuff, at least fun stuff for me, last two questions, Kenji or Jefferson, whoever want to go first. What inspires each of you to get up every day and do what you're doing? I already heard a little bit from Jefferson, but on that, I think I know what it is, but I'll let you guys speak. So yeah, tell us what inspires you to get up every day and what you guys do.
Kenji, you first.
For me, it's just life in general. It's like every day something a little bit different. Even with the current situation with everyone, with the pandemic, there's still, if anything, I've been more busy this year than I have in previous years, just because I have 10 million more things going on. But every morning, I realize, hey, there's something to get done today. There's something I want to accomplish today, even no matter how small it is. Just got to keep pushing forward. And for me, perseverance has always been the quality I have always tried to exhibit the most, because that's what's going to get you to your goal in the end. And for me, another thing is people, my friends, my family, being able to see them, even if it's just virtually. Right now, I also teach group exercise on the side. It's a little passion of mine. I got certified this year, so that was, another thing for me, one of my personal passions to pursue, and that took time as well. And it's just a little bit each day, slowly making your way towards the goal that you want.
Awesome.
That's what drives me.
Yeah, an awesome philosophy, by the way. All right, Jefferson, you.
How about you? Man, what gets me? I know what gets me up in the morning. The people who hate me. No, I think I get up because there's somewhat of a sense of obligation that I've had since I was very little. That you're up, you're here, do something. there's so many people who aren't here, and I, have had those experiences where I'm, almost dying and all that, near death and all that. And maybe that changed me. And, my mother and I talk about it sometimes, that maybe it changed me, that I had this quality of like, you're so lucky. Why would you get up and do that when you could do anything, and I talk to myself that way, so I think I just get up to try to fulfill my own prophecy of going, I know for sure I did everything I could today,
Awesome. Both are great answers. All right. So the last one is one tip. It's only one tip, so each of you can share that has helped you guys immensely. Personal, professional, doesn't matter, and that can help everybody else who's watching.
Kenji, you go first again.
Tips. All right. Well, I don't know about tips, but these are definitely things that mean a lot to me. One of the things that Joseph Campbell once said was follow your bliss, and then in parentheses, also follow your blisters as well. So I mean,
yeah.
go what's deep down inside that is right, but be ready to do the hard work for it, I guess, is what it is. But on top of that, just to celebrate life, celebrate living. You're here every day, and you enjoy, no matter how bleak it is, it's not going to always be that way. You are, how do we know what's bad if we don't know? How do we know what's good if we don't know what's bad already? So enjoy, embrace both sides, because that's going to help you find your way.
Awesome tip, by the way. Awesome. All right.
Jefferson. I like that, dude. I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Really.
My one tip. Oh my God.
Top that, Jefferson.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Kenji. The end. One tip. There's no such thing as failure because it's not over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. I was going to say, hey, you got a lot of experience. What do you mean you're thinking that much?
I know. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's not over. So you can't, you can't define it. You can't say it's, it is what it is, because it's not over yet. So keep moving.
Awesome. All right. Great. Thank you for taking the time, by the way, and doing this interview. And I'll be posting, for who might be watching on YouTube, I'll post all the links for Kenji and Jefferson. Reach out to them. Same thing with Instagram potentially, but LinkedIn, I'll be posting everything on the top. Each of the snips I post, you can connect to them directly. I'll hopefully get Kenji's LinkedIn profile and post it too, and then you can connect him directly, or Jefferson. So
no, I'll connect you guys. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Thanks for taking the time, guys.
Raju, thank you, man.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.